Go again. Good evening, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
A bad start. I left us on mute, and I'd also vanished out to get my dice because I thought the intro was longer than it actually was. So, but we're all here now, and we're all happy. There appears to be bars going up and down when I speak, which is good. And these two handsome gentlemen are above me, so I think it's time to get started. Welcome to tonight's Boys from the Baltic Star. It is Friday, and when the three of us are here, and it is a Friday, we play Traveller. And that is what we're doing this evening, our favouriteest of all the games, the game that brought us together in the first place as a group, our beloved science fiction adventure. Mark Miller's glorious vision, brought back into modern days by Mongoose Publishing. We play Mongoose Traveller 2nd Edition. And we play it to our own style, dear viewers, and you may or may not go for that style, but if you do, we hope you'll hang around. Even if you don't, I hope that you might give it a try for a short time. We'll run a couple of hours or so tonight, I don't know exactly, but something like that. We'll have a break in the middle, so please feel free to stay for as long or as short as you want. There's lots of exciting things to do in life, you know. We know there's much prettier girls out there to watch, or much more interesting stuff to watch, better sci-fi to watch, you know, with better budgets and things. But we bring a little bit of something to this corner of the internet, and we call it wine. And that is something we'll drink gently as we enjoy a nice, relaxed time with each other, and hopefully with you too. If it's your first time here, you're very, very, very welcome. We love newbies. You're incredibly welcome to be here. You can lurk. We love lurkers. We'll never shut you out. You lurk as long as you want. You have this on while you're doing other stuff, listening to our dulcet southeastern English tones. I promise you the other two are a bit posher than me. And we love our returners. We love our long-termers. We love our OGs. We love our regulars. And we love you all, basically. We're like that drunk at the end of the bar at the end of the night, going on about how much we love everyone and how everyone's our best mate, things like that, before weighing over ourselves and falling over in a pool of vomit. But we've not reached that point yet. We are peaking at just the right time for you, dear viewers. There is a little red sun there. You can click to spend some points. Click it and get involved in tonight. We are very interactive. That is one of the things we like. You might find that we do call out to people if there's anyone that comes in tonight. Or might stop and chat if they're a regular. Things that you say in chat, you can ignore us altogether, or some things might come into the adventure itself. There's some things here which are very interactive. You can make one of us stop and give you a minute of wisdom on any topic you want. Anything pinkish plays a tune, so get involved in that. The more expensive ones really interact. You can make one of the characters. You can choose a character to tell a bit of story from their background. A boon is always lovely. You can name an NPC. You can be part of the canon for that entire adventure from now on. Clonk means you can make a character hit out at something or someone for no good reason. Have we got Stefan Sneaky Masterclass? There it is. You can make Stefan steal something, try and pickpocket or nick something. That normally is brought about whole season arcs just because of him nicking something. So that's always good fun. But have a flick round. There's one thing very special, and it's one credit, and it's one credit only, and always will be. And that is I'll drink to that. Other channels charge you a lot for that, but we like to raise a glass to a moment. And if you want to raise a glass to a moment as well, I'll drink to that is your visual way of showing that you're like, yeah, I'll drink to that. And that's what it's there for. So that's enough from me on the intro. I'll introduce all of us and then hand over to our referee to take us on for this evening. I'm in the bottom right-hand corner. Hello, my name is Luke. It is winter, but I'm right next to a radiator, which explains why the guns are out early this evening. It's incredible. Radiator's gone up very high, and I'm kind of sweating in the middle of December. No wonder my electric bills are so high. But the man who is not as sweaty now as he was in the summer, when he was the sweatiest man in the whole of Faversham, but he's looking rather sexy and suave this evening, is my brother from another mother. He is the housewife's favourite. He is the Floofmeister General. He is the magnificent Ewan. Good evening, Ewan. How are you?
Hello, Luke. I'm very good, thanks. I'm very good. I'm excited. I'm excited to lead into I forget what exactly you said now. covered ourselves in weeds part of the evening and thrown up everywhere.
We normally do the wee before the break and the throwing up after the break traditionally. Let's not break with tradition.
Traditionally. Yeah.
Traditionally. Well, speaking of traditions, is there anything you're looking forward to over the Christmas period that might be somewhat of a tradition for you?
I'm quite looking forward to the carol singing in town tomorrow.
Oh, we might be
Not
there.
always
Actually.
a tradition, but when we are in Paversham, it is a tradition. So I shall be there, singing badly
Wonderful.
or mouthing, more than likely.
Spirits in the right place, vocal cords very much in the wrong place.
Exactly.
Well, there is a man, of course, whose voice far surpasses both of ours in talking and no doubt singing. He,
I wouldn't say that.
well, he is the smartest man in any room. He lives his entire life in the Twin Peaks dream sequence. He filled in for Pavarotti as part of the Three Tenors for a while. Pavarotti was taking a break back in the day.
Yeah, well, I was his weight double, not his voice double. Just to test out the structural integrity of stages, really.
Oh, he is. I'll finish my intro there. It's Ben. Good evening, Ben. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Very well. Yes. Yeah, very much looking forward to an evening of traveller with some friends. That'll be a treat. Always a treat.
Oh, it is always a treat. It's definitely a highlight to the week. 100% sure. Is there? Speaking of treats and things, the same question to you. Is there any over Christmas anything you like to do annually? Something you're looking forward to specifically?
There are a few traditions that the family observes that we still do every Christmas, but there's one in particular that's entirely personal to me. Christmas Day is one of the 2 days in the year when I allow myself sugar, actual sugar. So we have some chocolates at my father's house, and I will be indulging after lunch.
Nice. Is it very much a single chocolate, or do you allow yourself a few as a special Christmas treat?
As it's just twice a year. On Easter Sunday, it's an Easter egg sandwich, and on Christmas Day, it's a handful, I think, of chocolates.
Oh, lovely. Do you know what chocolates you're going for this year?
We have a box of Thornton's variety chocolates, which I think will be lovely.
Nice.
Oh, fancy chocolate. You do go about it in the right way.
Well, if you're only going to do it once a year, right?
Absolutely. Quite right, too. Well, I'm excited. It sounds like we've got some wonderful days, each of us, coming up. But I suppose we better start the Christmas weekend here. Over to you, Ben.
Okay. So, our band of adventurers are off on the first leg of their trip, scouting routes for the first part of the Deep Night mission. They've taken delivery of an upgraded Baltic Star, and once on board, they flew to Osin. Now, the last time they were here, everything went brilliantly, except for the part where they overthrew the government, smuggled a mobster off the planet, accidentally framed an innocent woman for murder, ended up getting deeply enmeshed in Imperial Navy espionage, and arranged to help a passenger beat the immigration procedures on Geeka.
Yeah,
Apart from
perfectly.
that, it was all smooth sailing. Oh, yeah, except for the Moho mine full of monsters. But apart from that, it was great. This time was more of a flying visit. A simple tale of selling some fish and some rare minerals, meeting up with an old friend, and setting off again after the ship was refueled. Oh, yeah, they did agree to take on a passenger. Nothing remotely unusual there. In fact, the passenger turned out to be another old friend, or at least an old acquaintance, the efficient and beautiful aide to the former governor, Sil Saba. She revealed her identity to them as they boarded their shuttle, and that is where we resume the story. So you are literally clambering on board you've just entered the shuttle, if you remember. And she's removed her helmet and revealed her identity. And the shuttle is ready to take off when you are.
Kara catches Stefan's eye, I guess, and winks at him and glances over to Silsalva. Because she knows she was the one that was asked to doodle a nice little postcard
That's right.
for Stefan to put his little love note on. So she's like, oh. So yeah, she'll sort of smile at you and sort of wander off to sort of start taking her stuff off.
Stefan will nod and he'll wander over to Silsalva. Hello.
Hi. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, and you as well. You're heading off system?
Yes, I think that's the exact description. Off, away, out, not here. Anything of that family is good.
Nothing too complicated or of our doing, I hope.
No, it's become uncomfortable for me here, and I called in a few favors and reminded people of a few things I'd done for them in the past, and friend of a friend talked to another friend of a friend and said they could find someone helpful, and luckily it was you guys.
Here I am.
Exactly.
Have you met everyone here? Ben, who came down with us? Luke or Ben?
All of your PCs came down. So,
yep.
So you have Stefan and Agnar and the two females, Soraya and Kara. Other than that, I don't think there was anyone else particularly involved.
No, she wouldn't have known at that time because previously the Cresses were around, but they were carrying bags for us in case we needed to. If you remember, they never had any interaction with Sil. It was just the four of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Stefan will do the he'll do the round introductions to everyone. Just
well, nice to meet everyone. So you're going where as your first stop?
Well, that is a very good question. What was the plan?
Oh, we're off to Brytsee. We've decided that we're at the stage in our lives where we're easing down a little bit and we're sort of going back around the old haunts. And as it's been so long since we've been to Austin and Brytsee, we thought we'd take like a retirement cruise over there before we go on one final big retirement cruise out from Brytsee.
Okay, you can make Brytsee from here.
Not in the shuttle.
You can make it if you've got long enough and enough people to pull you when you run out of fuel. We are going to have to stop halfway, but
okay.
But that's going to be quick and easy. We've got some stuff sorted out. We've got nice space in the bottom of the Baltic Star to get some fuel in. This is going to be one stop. We could jump in, top up, out again. Brytsee, jobs are good. And
okay. All right, that sounds good. Well, I'll try to keep out of your way unless there's anything you need from me. Any skills I can bring?
During jump, generally, it's a lot of downtime. We let the people that know what they're doing do their thing, keep the ship flying. The rest of us tend to spend some time at the bar. Stefan's been improving his flamenco dancing.
Really?
So, yeah, you have to see. His chest's a bit hairy, or it was at least, and he's been wearing very tight shirts and clapping his hands above his head a lot. Bought some castanets recently. I'm sure he'd love to show you off his skills. We have a Spanish evening every Wednesday night during jump. You're more than welcome to join us.
Oh, as it happens, I do a little dancing myself.
Ah, interesting. What style is your preferred?
I focused originally on classical ballet. That was my area of expertise. But I trained for many years. I can dance pretty much anything.
That I can very much believe. Thanks, Soraya. Cara? This could have been either of them.
Both girls look at each other and fist bump each other. So I'm guessing, they both just go and find their places in the shuttle and sort of get comfy and ignore everyone else for the rest of the bit.
Okay, Silsava will also find a seat in the shuttle.
Can Stefan just one more thing, Silsava, please?
Of course.
Not in the nature of one more thing, because
Well,
I don't think she's.
Well, he can sit next to her if he likes for the trip up. It's not a long trip.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he'll just broach at some point. Before we make way, there's nothing we need to know. Nothing we need to be aware of. No one chasing after you, or
There's
anything we should avoid.
There's potentially what you might call a local warrant for me, but I think it only applies to the city of Fredericksburg.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. And that's all. He'll make casual, friendly conversation throughout the rest of the journey, or as much as she's willing to.
Okay.
But
yes.
yes.
Well, she actually is beginning to relax a little bit. She looked a little bit nervous when she first got here, but now that nobody's hammering on the outside of the airlock and people are ready to fly. So who's going to be doing the flying? Is that right?
Soraya's happy to fly. She has got the skills to fly such a thing. It's a small craft, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yep. She's got the skills. She can give it a go. What do I need to roll?
You will need to roll, yes, your small craft with, I think under the circumstances, we can probably use Dex for that.
Okie dokie. I would like to explain to people, these dice are amazing. And we had a staff night out, a group night out last week for Christmas. And we played some little games, so we took dice to the pub. And Ben noticed that they were indeed amazing dice. And then he cursed them with some terrible rolls. And
I did.
And it's ruined them forever. Yes. See, look, one's just falling out of my hand and scattered across the floor.
Yes, I absolutely weakened them.
The curse is real.
Yeah, the curse is real.
Yeah, they were tremendous. They really were tremendous dice. They were constantly rolling 5s and 6s, and then I used them and rolled, a 1 and a 2, and that's it. After that, they were doomed.
I'm worried. Let's see what we can get out of them. Oh no, it might be all right actually. Because I lost one. The one that was actually the one we took last time was a 2, but there's a 5 there, and then it's +1, so it's 8.
Okay, all right. A little bit rusty. You haven't been flying as much recently because you've had the skills of a pilot. But she is still recovering on the Baltic Star from her wounds. So you're a little bit rusty, and you lift off and fly smoothly enough up to the Baltic Star and dock. The airlock opens, and nobody seems to be aware that you're bringing anyone new on board. So there's nobody sort of as a welcoming party. They're all doing whatever they're doing on board the ship. So you wander into an essentially empty corridor.
As Stefan goes up to Soraya, it was a little bit rough around the edges. You might have chipped a bit of paint on the Baltic Star, the newly the newly refurbished Baltic Star on the way in there?
Well, I'm not. I know I'm not the first one to chip some of the paint on this newly refurbished Baltic Star. After where's Cags anyway? Agnar, has he finished all
Oh,
your
there's
all your
Cags.
whiskey yet?
No, listen.
Oh, so you
And
hide the
Agnar
good stuff.
hurry over. Cagsy doesn't know anything about my whiskey.
Oh, he just knows about
He's
the
all
ship
about the bars
whiskey.
whiskey. Listen, any of you want to try some nice whiskey? I have no problem with that whatsoever.
It's only because you know that
You know, we've known each other
I
for a
don't
long
drink it.
time.
We have, haven't we? We
Right,
get on well, don't
exactly.
we? We get on
Yeah.
well. Yeah. What a team we make, eh? And look,
But less about the whiskey.
Teams that keep secrets together. I don't know. That sounds like a terrible rhyme.
It does.
What side of the ship are we entering into, Ben? The emo side or the cool, happy, fun side?
Well, you actually come up essentially in the neck of the ship when you come
neck.
up from the hangar.
The neck of ship.
Mhm.
Kara immediately veers off then to the right, to the happy top end of the ship. Sort of waves over her shoulder, says, "Right, I hate to love you and leave you all. I'm busy for this jump. I'm trying to get good at something, and you know what I'm like. I'm trying to, but I've got to not let Agnar down with this, with all this keeping secrets. So I've been improving my deception. So Agnar, you come to my room tomorrow, and we'll do another lesson on deception. I'll try and learn your evil ways." As she rushes off.
Okay, Syl sort of looks around, like, okay, so where do you want me?
Stefan will take her over to one of the ship maps. Look, where's the ship map?
Oh, I'll get the big ship map.
I very much imagine that we've just got these dotted all over the, like your nearest fire exit.
Yes, they're probably our safety maps like
Let me see what I can find. Have I got the big ship map up?
And
It's easy for you to see.
he'll say, right,
Yeah, there we go.
Imagine a line, if you will, through the middle of the ship. This is the happy half of the ship, as Carl likes to call it.
That's the top half
And
for those
this
watching.
is the emo half of the ship,
Dark.
as Carl likes to call it.
Half the light bulbs have gone. It's grimy.
It's not really a thing, but these rooms, and he'll point out the PC's rooms, and I suppose the NPC's rooms, are currently taken, and he'll list out everyone's room. The rest is entirely up to you.
She will pick a room on the port side of the ship, and from the map, literally say, "How about that one?" And it's about halfway along the port side.
Good choice. Good choice. The happy side is
the happy side.
Halfway along. That's okay. That's okay. There is space there. That's all right. I believe that's Kara and Rose's. I believe those two pink ones. So she could be next to Rose.
Sounds good. Yes. She will quite happily do that. I mean, not that she's met Rose yet, you understand, but quite happily do that. So yeah, she throws her sort of bag over her shoulder and marches along, following the door numbers, and lets herself in. And seconds later, having just thrown her bag into the cabin, re-emerges and says, "So I'll take a little tour if you don't mind. Wander around the ship."
Yes, yeah, of course. Should we let's start with your neighbours, and he'll knock on Rose's door.
Rose opens the door and sort of looks down, and she says, "Oh, no cat. Usually it's someone knocking on the door to let me know the cat's outside. Hi."
Hello, Rose. This is Syl Saba. We're giving her a lift somewhere. She is going to be bunking next to you.
Excellent.
Next door.
Welcome. Nice to meet you. Drink? Bar? And she sort of points vaguely towards front of ship. And Syl says, "Sure, bar, drink." And the two of them wander off together towards the bar.
Wonderful. Stefan will scurry back to his room briefly before deciding what to do with the rest of his. What time of day are we?
On ship, it doesn't greatly matter, but it's effectively early evening planet cycle.
Wonderful. Yeah, he'll head back to his room and do a little studying before
Okay.
relaxing in the evening.
All right. Refueling is finished. While you're up there, and you actually hear a little announcement from Kron over the tannoy saying, we are disconnected from fueling, and we are fully fueled up, including large chunks of the hold. So, nobody smoked down there. And then he says, "So, I could use a pilot." And you see Kat still looking a little uncomfortable with her recovery from wounds, slouch her way along the corridor and into the bridge area. And as she does, she will presumably pass. I'm guessing Agnar and Soraya, won't she? If they're still in the main corridor area.
Yeah, they've got. Soraya's definitely not gone off anywhere yet.
Okay, so she will say, "Jump to Habretic."
It's the best choice. We can refuel there. It's the shortest route. We can make it. Keeps it down to just 2 jumps. Agnar, we in agreement? Habretic's the best choice, isn't it?
Yeah, you're going to be right with that, Kat. You up to it? That sounded like quite a cough.
Once we're in jump, I can basically fall asleep in the pilot's chair.
That's good. You'll look after yourself.
The great thing about being a pilot on these long haul things, basically, you've got about 7 minutes of work to do once a week.
Sounds like Soraya's week every week.
That's if it's a busy week.
That's why I was good at it, Agnar. It suited me perfectly, the piloting lifestyle.
Well, that's good. That sounds like a very good plan.
Okay. I'm sure everybody's used to this by now, but I'll let people know before we go to jump. And she moves up to the cockpit and begins the process of maneuvering the ship away from the planet and accelerating out away from Ossie. It's going to be a while, even at the speed that the Baltic Star is capable of, before you can get clear enough of planetary bodies to actually make your jump. So you've got an hour or so before jump, I would think.
Oh, Agnar, this is Soraya, by the way. Agnar, you got.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, hey, just check.
I can see.
I know. It's just.
I can smell as well. My sense of smell is very good.
You've been spending so much time with your new friend Kags that I was worried you'd forgotten all about me. Forgotten who I was and what I look like.
No, of course not. I was just making Kagsy feel welcome, feel at home on the ship.
And he is wonderful.
We don't want to lose another star steward, do we?
No, it's tough to lose one in life. It's just be foolish to lose more than one. How do we feel about Syl? We good with her? She came recommended, and she always seemed okay. In fact, she seemed to sort of go along with and take the rap a little bit for us. First time round. We good with her?
I think so. I think my personal opinion, she seems like the kind of person in the small interactions that we've had with her, and observing her in her previous role. She seems like the kind of person that will help people out, but is quite agreeable. So I don't think we're going to have any problems.
Did you see the way Stefan's eyes all went a bit googly looking at her? I don't want her to break my boy Stefan's heart, you know. He's
No, I didn't.
He's close
I
to
didn't
me,
see.
you know. He's I just don't want, you know, I don't want him to be his eyes turn, you know, his head turned the wrong way and his heart to get broken, and me to have to pick up the pieces again, like with former girlfriends and things, you know.
You're worried that she's going to be with us for like a week and they're going to have like some weird holiday romance, and then that'll be it.
Well,
And he'll be crying into I can't even remember what he drinks. Disgusting light beer in the bar for another week.
that's not what I'm worried about. I'm more worried about that he ends up in a relationship for about 6 years and still spends every night crying in a light beer.
Well, there's a we have to have a saying on where I'm from in the Varga community. Sometimes you just have to let people be their own people. It doesn't really apply to many Vargas, but we say it about people. It's not really that catchy, but it holds true.
A lot of Varga sayings aren't very catchy at all when you put them into the common language, are they?
Terrible. They're terrible. They really are.
They probably sound better in the ancient Varga tongue, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would say so.
Rhyme and everything, I would imagine. Yeah.
They roll off the tongue much easier.
That's all right for you. You got a longer tongue, more space for rolling.
That's true. I do like a good roll as well.
So I've heard. In fact, you're looking a bit dusty around the edges. Maybe you've been rolling too much.
No, that's
the grey, is it?
I had a birthday recently.
Oh, of course, you're old now, aren't you? Of course.
Don't bring it up.
I don't know. I'm starting to feel that maybe 43 is not old at all. It's actually pretty young, I think.
That's very nice of you to say so, especially when you're so young and yourself. You know, much appreciated.
Oh, anyway,
don't worry. You know, just keep an eye on him. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Well,
maybe.
He's a big boy, isn't he? He can look after himself. I'll just keep an eye for if he undoes an extra button in his flamenco dance on Wednesday. Then we'll know. Maybe man to man.
I'm sorry, he's what?
Have you not heard his dance on Wednesday? He was going to pull out the lambada, no. I believe it's called, some old sexy earth dance.
It sounds painful.
It does, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. Keep an eye. If you think he's just man to man, have a little word with him. If you think he's going to, he won't listen to me, but he might listen to you.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm off to bed. I've got a very busy week. No, if you hear big booms, don't worry about it. I'm just practicing with explosives.
Wait, what?
That's all right. She's already gone.
No.
Pretend she hasn't heard as she walks off to her room.
On board the ship. It's a good place to practice with explosives, yes.
Agnar will go and find... who've we got engineering? Kron. Is it Kron?
Kron, yep. And Rachel's down there as well.
Wonderful. He will go find Kron and Rachel. If they're
okay.
Around. Hello? Hello. Both
Come in. You don't have to knock to come into engineering. It's a main ship space.
Well, yes, but it's, manners.
Oh, sure.
Listen, I just wanted to go through a few things. I had some questions, mostly about what Sarai's told me she's just off to do. The emergency the emergency systems on the ship, fire suppression and oxygen and things like that. How often do we test those?
Pretty much every time Soraya is expected to come back on board the ship.
Oh, okay, well, expect another test sometime soon.
Right.
Thanks for your help.
Yeah, we follow the standard procedures, of course. We test them periodically as part of the standard scheduled cycle, but with this crew, we tend to be a little bit more cautious sometimes because they're eclectic and they wander and do things that passengers on board ships don't normally do.
That is all very true. Well, thank you. You've put my mind at ease, and hopefully I've enlightened you to what any flashing lights and buzzing buzzers might be within the next few hours.
Okay. We're good to go for jump, and the fuel looks great, nice and clean.
Wonderful. As you were. Agna will leave.
Okay. So you on returning out into the main part of the ship, you obviously can go wherever you'd like. You can go to the bar, you can do whatever you'd like.
Agna, it's been a really short day. He hasn't really had to do much. He's going to make the most of it, and he's going to go have a quick little sauna.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Assuming that they're active during jump.
Yes. Yeah, there's no reason for them to be inactive during jump. And it's worth pointing out that there really is no such thing as a quick sauna for a Varga. Because,
no, that's true.
Because the sort of dehumidifying process afterwards will take longer than the actual sauna will.
At least that's what he's doing for jump then.
He'll go to the one on the happy side of the ship as well.
Okay.
He'll take the longer.
That's the
one
All
that's slightly further away.
Fair enough. And Soraya's off doing her things. We know Kara has headed off. We know Stefan's headed off. If there's anything else you want to do before jump, let me know. Otherwise, we will go straight to jump.
I have nothing. Oh, my dice have gone everywhere. You really have cursed my dice. I have nothing else I want to do.
Actually, I do, very briefly, if you don't mind. Stefan would like to go and find Rick. I'm pretty sure I haven't done this because it's still written down on my piece of paper, but you might, I might very quickly find that I've had this conversation already.
All right. Yeah. So Rick is in the bar. He is relaxing with the obvious knowledge that he's got no particular responsibilities coming up, and he's expecting jump soon, so he's going to have a drink until you're safely away into jump. Remember, Sill's there. Rose has taken Sill for a drink. Cags is there. There are a few others sort of loitering around. Sammy will be there having a drink. Freya. So everybody's just chatting amiably. And yes, Rick is indeed there.
Rick, hello. Sorry, you don't mind if I interrupt, do you?
Not at all.
You look very relaxed. I'm afraid it's not really business. It's, sort of like side business, if you will. Listen, we've been having talks about the. I don't know whether you're aware, the 3 Moat pegs that we have on ship.
Oh yes.
Yes. Some concerns have been raised, and I was wondering on our future journey across space, whether you might be able to keep an eye out for somewhere that might be a suitable new home for them.
I see. So we're looking for somewhere that we can put 3 potentially very large, angry, hexapodal predators.
Yes, ideally where they won't die straight away, but also ideally where they won't kill off everything else on the planet within the matter of weeks.
I mean, if we want
Some kind of
to,
middle ground.
if we want to avoid them killing off everything on the planet, I think we're looking for a planet with quite a lot of animals on it, because they are quite dangerous predators, as I'm sure you remember.
Yes, yes, indeed. I mean, what keeps them in check in their natural habitat?
They live in quite a desert environment, typically, where the air is very thin and the environment doesn't provide much life. So even though they have quite a large range that they hunt over, it's not usually filled with bounteous food. They are lizard like as species, so they tend to eat as much as they want and grow bigger as they eat. So if you put them somewhere that is lush with life, there is every chance they will eat a lot